we do. Can I tell y'all something? If y'all are my followers, then y'all already know how I was with Reese. Y'all know how in love I was with Maurice Kennedy, like my entire life. And y'all know how different it was for me not to have him in my life being single. So if I come on a fucking show for dating, I'm looking to fucking date. Why is that not like rocket science to you?
Yes, some people from the show are still together. We can't obviously say who, but yes, some show are together. So
People
y'all,
are together. Queenie, which is his best friend, and I have been in the same circles for 6 years. I worked for Mark Barnes since I was 18. She worked for Mark Barnes since she was however old. I've heard about Frank for many years, okay? I didn't know him. I barely saw him, but I heard nothing but great things about Frank. Frank was like in his own like different realm. It's like Frank, da da da. Queenie's in my world and his world is very different. It's like techno hip hop. Techno hip hop. You guys are getting it? Catch the vibe, okay? Catch it. So when I finally saw Frank in person, I'm like, oh, you're Frank? He's like, yeah, I'm Frank. I'm like, I've heard nothing but great things about you. I've heard nothing but awesome things. Like, you're.
So I asked him at the bar, and I said, hey, how do you feel about this? And his response to me is like, just relax, just trust me. It's a process. We're still going through the process. Like, I got you. I got you. So I was like, okay.
So I got you doesn't really give you clarity. That's okay.
No, it doesn't give me clarity. We had a conversation in the club, at the space, near the end of the night when people are like leaving. Tones of voice raised. That's when the conversation escalated. And I'm like, I just want to answer. A direct answer could have just eliminated this entire situation. It didn't have to turn into all of this. Let's take that back. I did technically get an answer to the question when the defensive behavior started taking place. So I guess there's my answer.
Let me ask y'all something. Y'all was out. Had y'all been drinking?
Yes, we drank before.
You too?
One shot.
Okay, guys.
So Tommy, in that moment where we were continuing to argue, I walked away.
Where are you going?
To get space, to literally just breathe anywhere away from him at that moment. Don't touch me.
Okay.
When you take it to the extent where you picking me up and you're not allowing me to leave, don't touch me. Phil was picking me up to try to get me back to the car. I'm like, yo, I'm not incapable of walking back to the car. He didn't have to take it there. There was an experience that I had before, and it triggered me. In my teenage years, there was a lot of verbal and emotional abuse that I went through. I'm processing all of that. So the fact that this man tried to physically take control of the situation, it's a lot.
Hi, you guys. Happy New Year. So I just wanted to come and touch on Ready to Love from last night. The show kind of starts off kind of boring with the meeting of families. This is just my opinion personally. I don't think anyone should have been introducing anyone to their families. Most of the people on here, some of them are still not sure about who they want to meet at the end, right? And we're at the end. So I thought I was kind of side out on the whole family thing, even though I saw the preview. When you really think about it, I kind of agree with Shiloh about that. I don't think anybody should be introducing anyone to their families. And it's not just her. I think it's some other people on there as well. But the meetings were what we would expect from parents and family members, right? It wasn't too over the top. I still don't get the Frank and Moon meme connection. I just don't. And that's just my opinion. But so for the most part, it was kind of boring. I think the only other thing that kind of stood out was something about Sabrina's age, and she kind of took you could tell she kind of took offense to that a little bit about the women he dates or younger or something. I don't know. I was like, oh, is that what it is with Walter? I feel like I missed these people's stories. I don't even remember hearing anything like that he only dates younger women. But, so yeah, there wasn't a lot going on. And then we get to the whole Shiloh and Phil story, and it really is just a story because we didn't see it happen. So I don't even know if I believe that even happened. And that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I really don't, because this is a TV show. So they could very well tell them what to say, and they just repeating it for all we know. But just to entertain the conversation, I felt like if she has some type of trauma like that, that's something that she should have told him from the very beginning anyway. Not just him, anybody else she had interest in on the show. And I understand people may feel like, certain things or some things are personal, but if you're going to bring it up now, then you should have been able to tell people that from the beginning. I think Tyrone came when he was introduced. We learned things about him, Aisha. I think that people should speak up front about stuff like that so people know how to deal with you. Like, how was he supposed to know you don't want anybody touching you because it may trigger, trauma? Like, it's very hard for me to follow where she was going with that. I kind of get the feeling she was trying to make him look bad. And it's kind of a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation. Because I get the feeling if he would have left her there, she would have came back with something about that as well. So I think she was hurt because he kind of changed his mind and went in a different direction, and she wanted to kind of get back at him. I still feel like he should have been eliminated. They didn't have eliminations, but he should get eliminated just for doing that, for not wanting to say how you feel. And I also feel like nephew Tommy should have been somewhere in this process questioning him about that as well. Like, how is it that you still don't know who you have feelings for? Because how can you walk down to the end, and all these people will go down to the end at the end of the show. That's what tickled me when I saw that on the preview. All these people are going to go to the end of the show because that's the whole process, right? To get to the end. And it's too much about just getting to the end. It's not really about making real connections. And that's unfortunate that they're handling the show that way. But, that's kind of just what it is. Everyone wants to walk down and say they made it to the end of the show. So I think that she's upset because she got so far and then he kind of let her down in that way. And so now she's trying to make it sound like he was doing something. He was aggressive in some way with her. And to be honest, I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to stand outside somewhere I'm not familiar with, or even if I am familiar with it, that's even more reason not to want to stand out there and hold a conversation, especially when he kind of already, in his own way, let her know. And I'm sure Sidney was saying certain things in those meetings as well. If these people are interviewed, if all of this will come up. But I kind of get the feeling Sidney was already saying things in front of Shiloh, so she knew what was going on. And if she wasn't, someone else was probably taking it back to her, right? So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys thought of the episode, and who do you think are the three? Well, I think it's going to be 4 couples. Like I said, I feel like Phil really should have been eliminated, but because he's allowing him to stay, no one's going to get eliminated. And I think that all 4 of these couples are going to go down to the end. Obviously, that's why all these people are on the show, just to stay the course. But it's clear that there are no real connections. To me, I think Dante and Aisha, maybe. I don't know. But I really don't feel that way about any of them. Even Sabrina and Walter, I really don't feel that way. Especially after hearing the whole thing about the young girls. I don't know. I think that everyone's just kind of doing what they have to do to get to the end of the show. That's the way it feels. But I think Phil will end up being able to stay there. So I guess it's 4 couples instead of 3. And I think he tried to do that last season as well. But yeah, I think that he should have called Phil out for not having a solid connection by now. But you're going to let him walk down to the end of the show. So I don't know, but that's the name of the game, I guess. Of course, these relationships don't have to turn into anything anyway. So there's no expectations on these people, to be honest, in their feelings. So I guess that's the name of the game. But let me know what you guys thought about the episode in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.